Joining us now is a very special guest, Sid Seixeiro of Breakfast Television. Sid, I got to ask you, for that game against Tampa Bay, that final game 6, what was it like at the Seixeiro household?
Quiet. I'm not a lunatic. What do you think I was doing? I g- I was like 30 minutes from bedtime. What do you mean? I do a morning show. No, I was can I swear on this?
Yeah.
No? Yeah?
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right.
Go ahead.
Albert Justin, asshole. It's good to see you.
Thanks. I love you too.
Sharms, love you. I was just watching more in disbelief. Pun not intended. I could not believe a team that played one good game in 2 weeks. Literally, one good game in 2 weeks was heading to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm still trying, like, it's been a few days, and I don't know if the autopsy is that important because they got it done. The Leafs got it done. But I'm still trying to figure out how. And like just showing up for a period for the last 5 minutes, for the last 10 minutes of a hockey game, notoriously in the National Hockey League will not help you. But the Leafs figured it out. And I get back to the same reasoning every time. And for some reason, when people talk about what the Leafs just did against Tampa, it's like seventh on the list. Ilya Samsonov was their best player. It wasn't Matthews. It wasn't Riley. It wasn't Matthew Nyes. It was like, for some reason, with goaltending having been the talking point in the regular season, the talking point, with Matt Murray completely disinterested in doing anything close to his job. He doesn't care. Just not interested. Not only did Samsonov stay healthy when it looked like he wasn't towards the end of the year, but he made massive saves when they needed him to. The stats aren't that crazy. He's not like the Schmidt kid in New Jersey. Samsonov's numbers weren't that good. But in certain moments where they needed him, he gave them a save that Frederick Anderson never gave them, that Jack Campbell never gave them. And it's hilarious to me to watch the breakdown of what happened here, because it's like people really don't want to talk about Samsonov like that. They don't want to admit the Leafs goalied another team. But there's nothing wrong with that. A win is a win. It doesn't matter. So I keep getting back to the fact that it was Samsonov's series with respect to everyone else. And why are people not acknowledging this? Why is it not like top 2 things you talk about when you talk about the series that just happened? I don't know why. It's weird, but like Samsonov was the guy. That he was the guy to me.
No, I agree, Sid. I think it's probably because they're still in disbelief, the fan base, that this team has progressed from the first round. Now, listen, you've been known in the past to go off on tangents and rants when things really upset you. Had they blown it, and there were times in that game where I thought, man, they're going to game 7 and they'll blow it. I mean, were you prepared for a rant on BT on Monday morning? Were you getting excited for that?
It wouldn't have been a rant. The funny part is, and Sharms, I think you could speak to this better than anyone. Because as much as you're a fake Liverpool fan, you're a legit Leaf fan. And
I'll take that.
And what is Klopp doing pulling hamstrings and shit?
I don't know.
What is he doing?
I don't know.
What is that?
You want to go there? We'll go there if you want.
No, we don't have the time.
No?
We don't have the
Okay.
time.
Paul Tierney is an absolute dickhead. Sorry. Anyway.
Topic for another day. Like I probably on Monday on BT wouldn't have had to say much because the fan base would have been burning itself down already. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why set another match to a fire that is already raging through the mountains of Leaf despair?
Sorry, mate. There's no way you could get quiet. There's no chance.
No, I got to be honest.
You would have been tossing gasoline on that fire. You know.
No, but do you want to know what I probably? You want to play this out? Let's play this out. Welcome back to Breakfast Television. James Sharman, Sid Seixeiro with you. James, you see that game over the weekend? Great. Listen, here's my take. I would have gone on air and said this. The Leafs are 100% losing this hockey game tonight. You know why they're losing this hockey game tonight? Because they're watching me right now. and they're reading everything on social media, or someone they know is sending them everything on social media. Mitch Marner has a family of people that send him stuff on social media. That's not, I know this for a fact. They can't get away from it. And if I went on air Monday, I would have called game and started to pour dirt on the coffin, because there was no way they were coming out in front of that crowd. And that crowd, the first thing that went wrong on that Game 7 Monday, if it happened, the crowd would have went, could have heard a mouse fart in that building. So they would have felt it. Okay, let me ask the panel. Do any of you think they would have won Game 7 if it happened last night?
No chance.
No chance.
No
No
chance.
chance.
No chance.
Zero chance.
No.
Done.
Because
Done.
we all live here and shit. Because we know, right? So I would have called game right away on Monday. To answer your question, Charms, I would have called game immediately in a very this tone. Very, like, oddly serene. So serene. You know how someone's so mad they're serene and like that really makes you nervous? It would be that kind of tone. So that's where I would have went with it. The next day, if they would have lost after that, I had 9 tweets ready to go in the drafts. 9. They will never see the light of day. I'll save those for the Jays if they can't get it done. But there was going to be a lot of tweets. Stay clear. I don't go back and forth with people on Twitter often. If the Leafs would have lost that, it would have been, I would have had my battery charged, a backup charge ready, and it was go time, man. It would have been like Will Smith at the Oscars level of traffic on Twitter. It would have been nuts. But you know what? Doesn't matter. Tampa got goalied. Leafs scored goals when they had to. I got to give them credit, man. And I'll ask another question in the room. Do you now think, sorry, Charms, do you
That's
now
quite right.
think,
I'm used to this, pal.
do you now think they're freed up completely? Because I'm getting the impression tonight that they're going to be like, what the fuck is this? Sorry, this is life after pressure's off in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
This is fun. Still physical, still tough, still need goaltending, but it's fun. Sharms, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think I
Do you think
expect
they
to
play
lose.
like that?
I expect them to be loose, like weight off their shoulders. I really expect that tonight. Now, whether we see it or not, I've thought things about this team for many years, and it's never come to fruition. So they might surprise us all with a real labored, lethargic game tonight. But
Yeah.
I think they'll be loose.
Yeah, I said it earlier. Like, what if that first round was the Leafs Stanley Cup? And then you can flip it the other way. What if that first round was the Panthers Stanley Cup? So I don't know what to expect, but you have to believe they've solidified, I said this before, solidified their belief that they can actually do it. Whether that means they can transition that into a team that can win a second round, I don't know. Like you're saying, Sid, it's complete uncharted territory for them.
It's I think you can't take the Panthers for granted. Everybody was saying that,
No.
they dodged a bullet. This Panthers team is dangerous, man. And I think there's going to be an emotional drop from what happened on Saturday. I think they could get got this first game tonight.
Sid, you I think you mentioned this on BT, but Sheldon Keefe, he says, this team feels different. He said that at the deadline, after the deadline, he said it during the first round. But what's different about this team? Is it just the goaltending, or is there something else that I'm missing?
I mean, I think, especially after the deadline, that's what I think he's talking about. Like, you bring in O'Reilly, you bring in Luke Shen, you bring in Achari, you bring in just different guys.
Yeah.
Like Jake McCabe hadn't played a playoff game, if I'm not mistaken, prior. So I don't know if I put him in that same category. But I think that's what Keefe was driving at. Was, there's some real grizzled good experience in the room that wasn't there previously. But you still have to go out there and prove it. Now, I missed this on the broadcast Saturday night, but Ryan O'Reilly's got like a splint on a finger.
He does, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. I heard someone on air the other day say that means one of two things: one, broken finger; two, broken finger. There's no other alternative to that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to watch. The problem with veteran leadership or veteran playoff performers is you become a veteran playoff performer by abusing your body. So at some point, the body fights back. Now, I'm not saying that O'Reilly is completely there, but it's something to watch. But I think that's what Keefe was driving at. Back to the Panthers thing, with respect. with complete respect, they got to worry about one guy. And if they corral the one guy, the Leafs are winning this in 5 games. Tkachuk is a human being. He cannot put that entire operation on his back every round. He's good enough to do it here and there. And as we saw in Calgary this past season, when he's not there, you notice. Like, he's a special, special player. But if you can really just not fall for his BS, and to be fair, he didn't have that much BS against Boston. Like, he stuck to hockey. Like, there wasn't like crazy extracurriculars. If you can just corral him, he's the head of that snake, and I think you can deal with it. I really do. So it's going to be interesting with last change what Sheldon Keefe does tonight in terms of who's up against him. But we'll see. But again, I don't believe in the narrative that the Panthers believe that was their Stanley Cup. I think they have a different narrative, but they don't scare me. One guy scares me, but Radko Gudas, the fuck out of here with Radko Gudas. Get out of here. Like, really? That the Leafs are going to be scared. At least have 60 goal scorer in their roster. Mitch Marner is a perennial 100-point guy every year. Are you kidding me? Radko Gudas is going to freak you out. Get the fuck out of here. It's ridiculous.
So, Sid, in the office here, I'm known as the guy, the ray of sunshine likes to stir the pot a little bit. And we have only a couple minutes left. I really want to get to this. So I heard you and James Sharman got in heated debates back in the day about Lionel Messi. And apparently, to quote a certain someone, you called him a fraud. So I just want to know now, after all that's transpired, do you still think he's a fraud?
Okay, 2 things.
Here we go.
2 things. One, did Sharman tell the story like it was a private conversation between the two of us, or that it trended globally? Because it trended globally, right? So look it up. I know it's a younger room. You look it up. It was out there in the ether. Secondly, okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe the World Cup was pretty amazing. And maybe he's not a fraud. But I need to see another World Cup from this guy. I need to see him go back to the World Cup charms, or I'm not going to be convinced. No, I'm kidding.
By the way, sorry to interrupt, mate, but before we go, I mean, are you enjoying the Saudi Arabian league coverage?
I'm surprised Sportsnet didn't pick it up. Did you see the headline today? You're bringing this up for a reason, right? Did you see the headline?
No, which one's this?
He wants out.
He wants
He
out?
wants out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, what a surprise. Where's he going now?
Sunshine. Well, isn't he going to Sporting Kansas City? What was that? Do you remember that rumor?
That's right.
Yeah.
He's going to Sporting Kansas City. No, I listen. Messi was unbelievable. I was right for 4 years, and maybe I wasn't right about Messi, but I do miss the conversation. Sharms, do you not miss the conversation?
I do,
We
man.
need to start like a new conversation. Like
We need two rivals, two heroes. Call them what you
Yes.
want. I don't know. 2 guys that can go head to head. We'll invent. Maybe it's Tkachuk. Maybe it's Matthews. Maybe that's who it is. Sid, listen, we have to run, mate. We're out of time. But thank you so much. This is always fun talking to you, pal, and we'll talk real soon.
See you, boys. Love you, Sharms.
All right.